road trip brings the Twins to Boston, Massachusetts, where they'll take on the top team in Major League Baseball. It's a 4-game series against the Red Sox inside historic Fenway Park. Welcome to Boston, everybody. I'm Audra Martin. There is no denying that the 3-game sweep over Toronto came at a very good time for the Minnesota Twins, who are looking to rebound after a tough start to the second half of the season. And it comes at a great time because they now have to look ahead to taking on the top team in baseball. And it's not going to be an easy task at all. So here's a few things to keep in mind over this 4-game weekend series. The Twins are coming off one of their best offensive series of the season, outscoring the Blue Jays 25-9. They finished that 3-game sweep with 39 hits, 16 of which were for extra bases. Boston may be the best team in baseball so far this season, but the series season favors the Twins. Minnesota won 2 out of 3 last month despite being out-hit by the Sox, but last year it was Boston who took this series 5-2. It's been quite a season for the Red Sox, whose 71 wins are the most in franchise history through the first 103 games of a season. They're easily on pace for their 4th 100-win season, but their first since 1946. Coming up, it will be up to Kyle Gibson to keep the league's top offense at bay. Dick Kramer and Torrey Hunter take a look at how he can get the job done today in Game 1.
Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. Hardly a complaint. It seems like every year we get a 4-game series in Boston, and tonight the opener of a 4-game series. Left-hander Brian Carlson will be going for the Boston Red Sox, and Kyle Gibson, who pitched a good ball game earlier against the Red Sox, will get the starting assignment here tonight. And we welcome you to Fenway Park. Dick Bramer along with Torrey Hunter for this 4-game series. The Red Sox have baseball's best record. They do everything well, and they got a couple of right-handed hitters in the middle of that lineup who are really putting together great seasons.
I think the Red Sox are a well-balanced team. They have speed, power, and great pitching, but you got to contain this two-headed monster. J.D. Martinez, this guy's, hitting 323, 31 home runs, 85 RBIs already. You got a month and a half left, 2 months left in the season. And you got Mookie Betts, man. He's a pretty good athlete, 351, 24 homers, 81 RBIs. These guys, man, they can really hit the fastball. You have to contain these guys. They're some of the best two hitters in the game. And so if the Twins can contain those guys, keep those guys, under control, I definitely think they got a chance to win.
The Twins took 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox at Target Field earlier this year, had a chance for a 3-game sweep. Kyle Gibson held this lineup in check. He did very well, giving up just 2 earned runs over 6 innings.
Cal Gibson, man, he has a really good fastball. His two-seamer is pretty impressive. But if he can stay inside on all these guys, these right-handers, he has one of the best averages against the right-handed hitter, and it pitching inside 214 against his opponent average. If he can stay inside on these guys, man, not let these guys get extended here in Fenway, I definitely think he's going to have some success on the mound today.
Red Sox are tough to beat. They're particularly tough to beat here at Fenway Park, but the Twins will try to do just that. They'd like to head home with a winning road trip. Welcome the Red Sox to Target Field and finish the series winning 2 of 3 games. Now Minnesota's looking to bring the same offense to Fenway Park, a team that just put up 25 runs in the sweep over Toronto. The bats may be on display in Boston. Not only do the Sox lead all of baseball in runs, but they have 2 of the best hitters this season. The Twins look to take the season series against the best team in baseball on Fox Sports North. We had rain for most of the afternoon. Skies cleared. We've got a beautiful night for baseball here at Fenway Park. Dick Bramer along with Torrey Hunter and Audra Martin for the first of 4. And no, it's not a complaint, but it seems like going back to when you played, Torrey, we would always have 4 games here in Boston. Not a 3-game series, but a 4-game series. It's wonderful.
It's always a 4-game series, and it's a battle for 4 days. And just the atmosphere, the history behind the whole thing, and you just got to love it. You got to love being in Fenway.
because of the curious dimensions. Some curious things happen here. Paul Molitor will only be managing the first 2 games of this series. Saturday morning, he's going to join a Twins contingent at Cooperstown, about a 3.5-hour drive from Boston here for the induction of Jack Morris, Jim Thome, and others. The Menards batting order for the opener: Joe Mauer leading things off, then Eddie Rosario, Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Mitch Garver, Robbie Grossman, Max Kepler, A-Ray Adrianza, Bobby Wilson, and then all face left-hander Brian Johnson.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. You got Brian Johnson is up there today and got 26 games, 5 starts, 1-3, an ERA of 3.81. Strikeouts, 47 strikeouts, 17 walks.
Most of his outings this year, as you see, have been relief outings, and there's some thought that he may return to the bullpen after this start. Red Sox right now do not have a left-handed relief pitcher. And Johnson will take the mound here with Joe Mauer in the box, and we're about ready to get going here. Red Sox have the infield swung over to the right side for Mauer right away. And the first pitch inside, ball 1.
It's amazing. Joe Mauer has a shift on him. One of the best hitters to play this game.
And so he slashes it to left field. Another line drive off the bat of Mauer.
If you want to beat the shift, you have to hit the ball the other way. And Joe Mauer just showed that he can do that.
About where Bogarts would be standing in a conventional alignment.
Here's a fastball down the middle. He left it out over the plate, and Joe was able to get good wood on the ball and do what he wants to do. He wants to go the opposite way, and it's a nice little line drive. Thank you for not being there, Xander.
Eddie Rosario will hit. Twins, as we mentioned, took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox of Minnesota, and they did it by out-pitching the Red Sox. They really held the lineup in check. The third game kind of got away in the last few innings. Here's Rosario with a fly to short center. Bradley comes in a few steps, and Rosario's gone on 1 pitch. Mentioned the Red Sox do a lot of things well, and one of them is they pick it pretty well out in the field. Northland Ford defense has Jackie Bradley Jr. in center, Mookie Betts in right, Andrew Benintendi in left field. Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, hesitate to call him left side of the infield because sometimes Bogaerts is on the right side, as we've already proven. Yeah. Brock Holt at second, Steve Pearce at first, and Blake Swihart behind the plate. Brian Dozier takes low, ball 1.
You know, the Red Sox defensively is pretty well balanced. You're talking about in the outfield with Benintendi, Mookie Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr. In the outfield, they're pretty athletic, and then the infield, they pick it pretty well. When you got Mitch Moreland at first base, he's pretty much picking all those balls in the dirt. So defensively, these guys are more than solid.
Moreland not in the lineup at first base tonight. Steve Pearce, as you saw, is playing at first base tonight, but we expect to see Moreland throughout this series. 2-0 to Dozier. And now 3-0 with Johnson missing with an off-speed pitch. Twins 12-5 in their last 17 games. There's a fastball and a strike, 3-1.
One thing I noticed with Brian, just kind of watching film about him, over him, and he likes to throw the curveball, the slider, and he'd throw it anytime. Anytime in the count, he would throw that curveball. He really has confidence in that.
Dozier waits on an off-speed pitch and misses, 3-2.
It was a 3-1 count. You would think a fastball was coming, and he threw it off-speed. And here's his arsenal: his fastball 53% of the time, curveball, slider, changeup. Loves his curveball.
Dozier spanks it hard into center field, and Mauer will check in at second base. So a couple of singles for the Twins, and now 2 aboard for Escobar. Yeah, the piece of wrench for the win. I will have to say he's dangerous upstairs. Stay away from upstairs. This guy loves the fastball up. Even though he throws 88 to 91, he has a pretty sneaky fastball
a nice spin rate on that fastball, and it stays up, and I see a lot of guys chasing it. So if the Twins can keep the ball downstairs, I think they have a better success and get that curveball, keep it hanging and bang it.
Here's Escobar. Goes after the high fastball, 0-1. You need to talk louder because we're, I don't know, 120 feet maybe from home plate. You need to talk louder so that Escobar can hear you.
Esky, Mighty Mouse. Oh, he can't hear me.
Foul back, 2 strikes. Escobar hitting .252 from this side of the plate, .283 from the other side of the plate. And incredibly from the other side of the plate, 46 of his 72 hits have been for extra bases, 30 doubles, 3 triples, 13 home runs.
That has to lead Major League Baseball, right?
He's got 37 doubles in all. Francisco Lindor second in the major leagues with 34. Twins trying to cash in here in the first inning with a couple of singles against Brian Johnson.
Remember a couple years ago I told you he was my favorite player.
This guy Escobar.
Mighty
yes.
Mouse.
Yes.
He's shown it the last 2 years, and
Sharply hit and into center field. Mauer around third. He's being waved home. Bradley's throw is in time to get him. A perfect throw from Jackie Bradley Jr.
Wow.
A strike from short center field, 2 away.
I saw where he fielded the ball cleanly, and Jackie Bradley with a strong arm. He's a pretty good outfielder. He's struggling at the plate, but he definitely makes it up in defense and nice strong throw up the line a little bit and was able to get Joe. I think Joe coming around when he got the break off second, he kind of slowed down and kind of looked back at the ball. That kind of slowed him down a little bit. That's one of the reasons why he got caught right there at home plate.
3 singles in the first inning, but nothing in the run column yet. And here's Mitch Garver. Drove in 5 runs with 4 different RBI hits. And we didn't figure he'd catch today because yesterday's game lasted 11 innings. But we were a little surprised that he was put in the DH spot. So both Twins catchers are in the starting lineup with Garver DHing. 1-0. And now a strike.
I think Mitch wants to be in the lineup. When I have conversations with him in the clubhouse, it's like he wants to battle at the plate. With 2 strikes, you see him shorten up and try to make things happen, just make contact. And I like his mental approach. It's pretty impressive.
Well, we've tried to compliment Mitch offensively. He's got just over 200 big league at bats, but he seems to have grasped something that it takes hitters a lot longer to grasp, and that is to use the whole field. And if you've got 2 strikes, tone your swing down and put it in play someplace. I
mean, that's why he's here, man. He definitely at the plate, he's somebody that balances, because you got Bobby Wilson, who really can catch, has a knowledge of the game, been around the game, was trained under Mike Soch, and this guy he knows the game. When he's in there, he's going to call a good game. And then Mitch, who's trying to get better behind the plate, but he also brings the bat. So it's kind of, if you want to bat that day or if you want a catcher today, you just pick and choose.
Well, yesterday he had a great all-around game. He did a wonderful job blocking pitches, particularly early in the game when Irvin Santana had some men on base. And Garver did a really nice job blocking everything.
Yeah.
Second and third after the wild pitch. 3-1 now to Garver. And lifted foul, 3-2. Now Garver does strike out quite a bit, 48 times and 185 at bats. But we've seen some productive 2-strike at bats. And Paul Molitor hoping we'll have one here. With the Twins threatening 3 singles in the first inning against Brian Johnson. Tap foul.
That's the battle I'm talking about. And one thing about him, he struck out, 48 times, 46 times, you say? And I definitely think that just a learning curve. He's trying to learn the league, and this is, first year in the big leagues, and just trying to learn the pitches of what they're trying to do. Different teams do different things certain hitters, and I think once he figures that out and makes some adjustments, he'll be fine.
And a close pitch taken for ball 4. Now they're loaded up for Robbie Grossman.
Dick, that ball was not close. It was a ball.
Oh, really?
That's what he said.
Yeah. From up here, it looked close. Let's take a look on replay.
That's a ball. If he swings at that, he's out anyway. It's a ball. It's not close, Dick.
All right. I saw you swing at pitches like that.
Because I was fooled.
Here's Grossman. That is a strike. 1 strike to Grossman, playing in right field.
I struck out in the softball game, celebrity softball.
Did you really?
Oh,
I saw that. It was slow pitch too, wasn't it?
It was Charles Barkley terrible.
Grossman gets time at the plate. Well, the Twins have 3 singles and a walk here in this first inning, and still nothing in the run column. That's
nice.
Dumped down the right field line, but foul by about 4 feet. 2 strikes to Grossman.
Where Grossman's come from, you know, the last time I was working with you, Grossman was hitting like 212.
Right.
He's around 255, 250, somewhere around there, and this guy is actually working his butt off to get to the top. We got 2 months left, and you know, the work he's been putting in and trying to make adjustments here and there, I could see him hitting around 280 at the end of the season.
Up and away. Kepler hoping for a chance here in the first inning. Swung on and missed. And stepping on home plate is Swihart, and that'll end it. 3 singles and a walk, but Johnson dances out of the fire. And Alex Cora in his first year, replacing John Farrell as manager of the Red Sox. Kind of hard to argue with the results, right? Best record in the Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Some of the best hitters in the game, starting with this guy, Mookie Betts in the leadoff spot on the Menards batting order. Andrew Benintendi, J.D. Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Steve Pearce, Rafael Devers, Blake Swihart, Brock Holt, and Jackie Bradley Jr. And a fastball at the knees, strike 1.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Cal Gibson, 20 starts, 3.57 ERA. He's been pitching well lately.
make the case that he's been the Twins' most consistent starting pitcher. Jose Barrios has had a few that have kind of gotten away from him, haven't been real consistent. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. But Gibson, his shortest start since the middle of April has been 5 innings. And in those starts, generally just a couple of runs allowed, the 5-inning limit put on because of the high pitch count. 1 and 2 to Mookie Betts. 2 and 2. Betts, the best Boston hitter and the best against Kyle Gibson. 6 for 12 with 3 home runs against Gibson.
Gibson is a different pitcher this year. He's pitching in and setting up his slider.
And a 3/4 swing and a strikeout to start the ball game.
See, that's what I'm talking about. He's a different pitcher. He's mixing his pitches well. He's pitching in, and he's keeping the guys off balance. That's a slider right here. He just threw him a 2-seamer in. He was definitely thinking in, and he was able to get that slider out and get him out in front and chase that pitch in the dirt.
Twins are coming off a 3-game sweep in Toronto. The Red Sox are coming off a rainout last night in Baltimore. Benintendi hitting next. First 3 hitters tonight. The ball hit to center, and an easy play for Kepler, out number 2. First 3 batters, Betts, Benintendi, and Martinez, all homered in the first 2 innings in Baltimore last night. But after a rain delay of more than 2 hours, the game was postponed, and those home runs didn't count. Kepler in center, Grossman in right, Rosario in left. As you look at the Northland Ford defense, Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, Mauer, the infielders, and Bobby Wilson behind the plate. And now J.D. Martinez.
They definitely want those home runs back. They're going to be fighting for that makeup game.
On the outside corner, Gibson looks sharp here in the early going. That one clocked at 96 miles per hour. Gibson pitched well in the 3rd game at Target Field. The Twins had won the first 2 games and had given up just 3 runs in the first 2 games at Target Field. And Gibson gave up just 2 runs over 6 innings. And then, as we said, the bullpen had some issues. The Red Sox kind of ran up the score towards the end, and the game ended up being a lopsided Boston win. But throughout that series, the Twins starting pitching was exceptional against this Boston lineup. 1 and 1 to Martinez. And now 2 and 1.
J.D. Martinez, man, he's definitely a student of the game. I had him. He was my teammate with the Tigers. Actually, Houston Astros in 2014 in spring training released him. And 2013, Prince Fielder and I was like, why is this guy sitting on the bench? We saw him take batting practice. He was hitting balls out of park, right field, center field, and left field. And they released him. So we wanted to go and get him. And so we told Dave Dombrowski about him. Uh-oh.
Bobby Wilson crumples after taking a foul tip, I believe, in the left thigh. Tony Leo and Paul Molitor watching Wilson trying to walk it off.
I saw him earlier in the clubhouse getting a little treatment. He say he gets banged up all the time. There's a slider off his, oh man, left knee.
Yeah,
that's nothing to play with when you're playing with knees.
See the impact right on the edge of the top section of that shin guard.
That's going to leave a mark.
And then, of course, it hurts to bend it, but that's one of the job requirements of catching, is to get down into the crouch.
Bobby Wilson's a tough guy. That's why I was never a catcher.
2 and 2. That's a cracked bat that'll drop in front of Kepler for a base hit. Martinez drops a single into center with 2 down.
He just kept that barrel in the zone and was able to get a pitch up and drive it. And this is a slider, left it up a little bit. Pretty good pitch, but JD just kept that bat in the zone and was able to go with the pitch and bloop it out there.
It's not too much different than the one that struck out Betts.
Yeah.
So Bogarts will have a chance with a runner at first and 2 down.
This guy has a little bit of everything. He hit for average and power and clutch hits. And
that's the thing. When you look at this Boston lineup, of course, you think of Betts and you think of J.D. Martinez. And then this guy's really, really good. He's a there's a reason he's hitting cleanup in this lineup. Benintendi with maybe 25 home runs in him this year and a plus 300 plus batting average. 1-0. And there's the outside corner.
Good pitch. You know, with JD and Mookie Betts, they get all the attention. They're very exciting to watch. But when you look at Xander Bogaerts and Benintendi, Andrew Benintendi, these guys are balanced players. These guys can do pretty much everything. He plays shortstop. Benintendi plays left field, steal bases, you know, hit for power. These guys, they're like Scottie Pippens of Boston Red Sox.
Oh, now you're dating yourself. Scottie Pippen? If you're going to go with NBA references, you got to go fresher than that.
That's what's fresh in my mind.
I know exactly what you mean. 2-1 now to Bogaerts. Red Sox 71-32, 34-13 here at home. That wallop to the left field corner. A fair ball. Rounding second on his way to third is Martinez. The throw coming to second base. It's a double for Bogaerts, and the Red Sox are putting together a 2-out threat. And that'll bring up Steve Pearce.
Xander Bogaerts hitting his 30th double of the season. Oh, left a pitch up in the zone. That's what you're supposed to do with that. If it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go. And he actually let it go and got a double out of that.
Now the Red Sox are threatening. And Steve Pearce picked up about 4 weeks ago from Toronto. And look what he's done since he's gotten some playing time here with the Red Sox. Yet another potent right-handed bat.
He's pretty much a pull guy. He likes to pull the ball, and that green monster is perfect for him.
Down and away, ball one. First 2 outs came easily for Gibson. And it's that third one.
He had a couple years with the Orioles before he went to Toronto. He had a couple good years there. And
2-0.
And he probably hit pretty well in Boston, so they brought him over because he kills that green monster. He really can pull the ball. And it works out. Been working out for those guys lately.
The assumption is the Red Sox aren't done yet with the trade deadline coming up in a few days. Two 2-0. Gibson to Pearce. 3-0. Devers on deck. Dave Dombrowski.
Dave Dombrowski. He's a very smart man. He reminds me of a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Pretty much he is, but.
Well, he signed your paychecks for a few years in Detroit, too, right?
That's why I like him.
3-0 to Pearce. And a 4-pitch walk, and it didn't appear Gibson was too interested in throwing Pearce strikes, but now they're loaded up for Devers. A 4-pitch walk, and each team with a threat here in the first inning. The Twins weren't able to cash in. Gibson will have to throw strikes to Devers. Devers 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Gibson.
Devers has 96 strikeouts through the season. And we have 2 months left. I think that walk was strategically planned. What do you think?
Sure looked that way.
Yeah.
Which is fine as long as you come back and get Devers. Popped up. Short left. And Rosario squeezes it. Each team with a first inning threat. Nothing on the board. We head to the second inning.
Top of the second inning, it's time to bring you some scoop from the clubhouse. After that long day behind the plate, Mitch Garver wasn't sure if he was going to be in the lineup today. He said he was very thankful to see that Paul Molitor put him in the 5 spot DHing today because he really wanted to get right back to work to build off of the momentum he picked up yesterday without taking that time off with a day off in between. Byron Buxton was supposed to be activated from the DL today. Instead, they pushed it back to tomorrow. They said there's no issues, just wanted to give him a few more reps. And Addison Reed left today for a rehab stint with Rochester. The plan is for him to pitch on Friday and Sunday, and then they'll reevaluate and go from there. Guys?
Thank you, Audrey. The thing that's important to remember about Addison Reed, Kepler taking a breaking pitch, strike one. He'll be followed by Adrianza and Wilson. Fouled away, 2 strikes. The thing to remember about Reed, the Twins signed him to a 2-year deal. So he'll be back with the Twins next year, barring a trade, of course. But, you know, the Twins have a little more equity in Reed than they would say Fernando Rodney, who only signed a 1-year deal.
Right. So they don't have to rush him to get back, make sure he's healthy. And
Kepler checks 1 and 2.
You mentioned Mitch Garver having a day yesterday. I mean, Molly's a smart man. He knows to keep him in that lineup.
And he took a breaking ball for a called 3rd strike. 1 down in second, and that'll bring up Adrianza.
Like I was saying, Molitor is more of a strategic guy. He wants to keep the hot bat in there, and why not keep Mitch Garver in there as a DH and not take him out? I know he wouldn't catch in this situation today. Bobby Wilson's done a great job behind the plate, but you got to keep his bat in there. He hit a home run yesterday to help those guys, and I wouldn't take him out of the lineup.
And Adrianza checking with Marty Foster. Make sure that was a strike. It was called 1, 0-1. Twins have 2 switch hitting shortstops, Polanco and Adrianza. This one chopped to third. And Devers fires it across. Adrianza better from the right side of the plate than Polanco, so with the left-hander going, Adrianza got the start today, 2 down, and that'll bring up Bobby Wilson. You must have been with Bobby Wilson, weren't you, with the Angels?
I was with Bobby Wilson 4 years.
Yeah.
And
one of my favorite guys.
He's an awesome guy, man. Great teammate. You know, people love him. The guys love him in that clubhouse. We loved him when he was with the Angels, and always good behind the plate. Hitting was, you know, something that he always had to work on, but the value he brings behind the plate, you know, is something that you want to keep on your ball club. That's why he's still around.
Wilson with a foul back, 1 strike. Twins made Johnson work hard. They got 3 singles and a walk against him in the first inning, but Mauer was thrown out at the plate. Twins didn't score. Then the Red Sox loaded the bases but did not score. Up and away, 1-1.
Notice he likes to throw the fastball up and throw the curveball off that of changing your eye level. There you go.
Breaking ball on the outside corner.
Nostradamus. I couldn't do this when I was playing.
You figured it out pretty quickly. And Wilson strikes out. And Johnson has a much easier time of it in the second inning. down, and this has been quite a remarkable turnaround for Kyle Gibson. Swinging and missing. He used to be a pitch to contact guy, but he's really upgraded his swing and miss ability thanks to an improved slider and curveball.
Wow, I mean, he's definitely. I think he's always had it. I thought he threw it too much. Now he's using the fastball, and he's throwing it off the fastball. He's establishing his fastball this last year or so, and now his breaking pitch. I think he always had a good breaking pitch. I faced him.
Here's Blake Swihart, and he pops the first pitch foul on strike. Swihart, Holt, and Bradley, the bottom third of the Boston lineup, and Gibson would like to do what the Boston starter Johnson did, and that is have a better second inning, an easier time of it. As you see, the slider and the curveball, two breaking pitches, and he's used both effectively. Down and in, a check swing, 1-1.
It's not fun as a hitter, man, when you have a guy who has a fastball, could be 93 to 95, straight fastball, then he throws you a sinker, a different fastball. It actually messes you up. You attack it like it's a straight fastball, and it runs in on your hands or hit a ground ball in the double play.
Swung on and missed. It seems to have all come together for Kyle Gibson this year. He was frustrated in past years. The Twins were frustrated with him. 2 demotions to the minor leagues last year. The ball lined to left, a base hit for Swihart to start the second inning. Third hit for the Red Sox, and that'll bring up Brock Holt.
You know, Cal always had good stuff. You know, he's a former first round pick. The guy obviously had the stuff. That's what they saw when they drafted him, and it just took him a while to figure out some things. It took me a while to figure out who I was and have an identity. He's starting to figure out that he belongs here, and he's starting to trust all his pitches, and he's learning a lot. So I think the upside is still there.
Strike on the outside corner. What we've seen here in the first couple innings, even though the Red Sox have 3 hits, but his strikes are better strikes, if that makes any sense. They're on the corners, the edges of the strike zone, and not right down the middle. It
does make sense. If you got better strikes, you got a better chance of getting that guy out.
Put away, 1-1.
Those strikes down the middle, they go a long way.
20 prior starts, and he's still able to get ground ball double plays, but it used to be about 1 per start. Now just 11, but truth be told, there have been fewer base runners out there for Gibson. You made note of his lower opponent batting average. There have been fewer double play opportunities, hence fewer double plays.
Brock Holt, you know, I always liked the way he played the game. He played the game hard, and it has a little speed, so it'd be tough to get him in a double play.
You have to keep an eye on Swihart too. He's stolen 3 bases in 4 tries.
For a catcher, his body's pretty athletic.
Closer play, Joe West calling him safe.
I don't know what kind of sign Joe West gave.
A disinterested, yeah.
Too cool. We had some rough times. I've been thrown out by him maybe like 15 times in my career.
And foul back.
It was definitely the most by any umpire. He threw me out on Easter one time.
Well,
who throws anybody out on Easter?
What, you obviously did something to deserve it.
Not really.
1-2. Inside, a check swing and no swing, and now they're saying that the ball hit Holt. So the hope was that the swing would have been called, and then whether it hit Holt or not would have been a moot point. But once they called the swing checked.
Slider. Oh yeah, hit his left foot. For him to even offer at that pitch had to be pretty dirty.
And that was a check.
It was a check.
First and second, nobody out. 8 batters face, and the Red Sox will put 5 of them on base. Here is Jackie Bradley Jr.
He is not a ground double play candidate.
Jackie Bradley?
Yeah, he's definitely a fast guy, but he's hitting 210, which is odd. The guy with so much speed, obviously that shows me that he's trying to pull the ball and not beat that monster up over there.
About 300 at bats, 82 strikeouts. Gibson would love to get him here. Up and in, ball one. Gibson thought, I think, that he threw strike one there.
It's a good pitch. Jackie's been swinging at a lot of sliders down at the back foot, and Cal is trying to establish that fastball inside and throw that slider off his back foot.
There's a chopper towards second. They'll get the lead runner, and a smart play by Dozier, because now the double play still is in order. One down on the play. Swihart goes to third.
Dozier making that play right there, keeping that runner out of scoring position is actually pretty smart. Kind of minimize the damage. Here's a pitch down the way, a two-seamer. Great pitch to get the double play off of, but didn't really do anything. But he just hit it soft enough to not get into the double play. So great play by Dozier right there. Great heads-up play.
And now Betts, who struck out. The only strikeout so far for Gibson. 4 outs recorded, 2 on outfield flies, the ground ball we just saw, and the strikeout of Betts to start the bottom of the first. Off the plate. Ball one.
I think Betts is hitting under 200 off of fastballs, and off speed he's hitting a little higher. So I definitely think we can get this fastball inside and jam him a little bit and maybe break him off if he offers at it. The fastball inside.
Pulled foul.
Change up.
Twins, with 100 games played, have averaged 4.59 runs per game. It's actually a touch better than it was a year ago at this point. The Red Sox, however, are averaging 5.35 runs per game, just about a full run more than the Twins are per game. You see, both teams have done pretty well with runners in scoring position. 1-1. And now missing inside 2-1.
Now he sets up the slider. But you put JD Martinez and Mookie Betts on the Twins.
Okay. I'd love to.
Right.
Sure, let's do that.
Hey, bring them over to the Twins.
We got a couple days before the trade deadline.
We might get 6 runs a game. Of course. In Fenway.
Bouncer wide of third. Well, the Twins won't be acquiring Betts or a JD Martinez. They do hope to get Byron Buxton and Miguel Sano back at some point.
Yeah.
Betts struggling a bit since the All-Star game, hitting just .240. Gibson struck him out in the first, and he could use another one here, or a pop-up, or a ground ball hit at someone. Only 4 ground ball double plays for Betts this year.
You talk about Byron Buxton and Sano. I think sometimes you have to kind of renovate. You actually have to demolish. You have to kind of destroy some things to build up. And I think that's what these guys are doing. Kind of get rid of the old them and try to build something new. And that's why they're in the minor leagues, to work on what they need to work on, get healthy, and when they come back, they'll be new, renovated.
Wilson steps in front of the plate to give signs in the event Bradley takes off here, which I think would be a pretty good bet. Full count to Betts. We've seen it go the other way, right? 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And what you're suggesting is this might be 1 step back for 2 steps forward.
Right.
Full count to Mookie Betts. And the throw to third, and he got back in time. And the Twins put a play on. And Swihart alertly got back. And Wilson will give more signs here.
It's actually a pretty good play. If he went a little quicker, he might get even closer. You remember the first and third move?
Can't do that anymore.
I know.
Or actually third to first, right? You bluffed
Yeah,
the third
third
and
to first.
Yep. They took that one out of the playbook.
It never worked.
It's nice to see that. One's trying to pick off the runner at third. Now the 3-2. Bradley goes, and the pitch grounded sharply. And Adrianza has one play. Now there'll be a play across to third. Mauer's throw. Got him. A double play. The run will score, but Mauer showing off that arm that won Gold Gloves behind the plate. A rocket from first to third to end the inning. Red Sox might take a look at it. A perfect throw across from Mauer.
Catcher's arm. Really good throw, and oh, he came off.
He came off the bag.
He's out.
And the Red Sox will not challenge it. They do get the game's first run, and the inning ends on a curious double play. Behind the plate. The guy had a magnificent throwing arm behind the plate. We just don't get to see it as often.
Man, he has a cannon, man. Even though he left from behind the plate, it might have been because of his legs, but his arm has always been intact. He always had one of the strongest arms in Major League Baseball, and he still has it. You know, as a first baseman, I bet you he's, out of all first basemen in baseball, he has the strongest arm.
Here's Mauer to lead things off. He takes a strike, but honestly, how often does a first baseman get to use his arm on forced plays to second? We've seen, you know, accurate throws from Mauer, but that's sometimes just a 60-foot throw. And, you know, you throw diagonally base to base. That's a long throw. That's the closest thing a first baseman has to that throw from behind the plate to second base.
That's true. I mean, it rarely happens. You rarely get guys, you know, that keeps going on a one play. That was actually a heads-up play by Jackie. Of course, he made the last out at third, but you know, Joe was able to show that cannon. Anybody else, any first baseman, they don't get him. Just Joe.
1-2 to Mauer, then Rosario and Dozier. Chopper. And Devers, close play. Joe hustling it out, one away.
Joe got down that line. This guy is, how was he, 33, 34? Getting down the line like that?
One down, and now Rosario.
Leading by example.
We've talked about how it seems like most years we have a 4-game series here, and every time I come to Boston this time of the year, I remember that wonderful 4-game series the Twins had here in 1991. Now we all remember that regular season. because of the 15-game winning streak that the Twins went off on in June, taking them to the top of the division. But right after the All-Star break in 1991, Twins came here for 4 games against the Red Sox and swept all 4 games against Boston. As a ball lifted to right center field, Bradley just kind of lopes after it, makes the catch on the edge of the track, 2 down. And Dozier will bat with the bases empty. Coming up Monday, July 30th, it's College of St. Benedict and St. John's University night at Target Field. A limited number of St. Benedict and St. John's theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket, white and red Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/CSBSJU or call 800-33-TWIN. Now, the 15-game winning streak that year went a long way toward convincing the Twins that they were good. You win 15 in a row, you're good, right? But almost as significant as that, to me, was the 4-game sweep here at Fenway Park right after the All-Star break. That was impressive. Twins had some trouble against the Red Sox, and they came to Fenway Park and won all 4.
And it's hard to do. You're talking about the fans here who, as far as baseball IQ, these fans know the game. They know when to heckle you. They know you struck out 3 times, so they they pick and choose the guys they heckle, and just a great atmosphere of baseball fans. It's electric here, and I always love playing in this ballpark.
2-1 to Dozier. He singled in the first inning. 6 in a row set down now by Johnson. There's a strike, 2-2. Johnson works quickly. A lot of high-end potential there. Last year, Red Sox had 1 shutout, and he pitched it against the Mariners. And now 3-2 with Escobar on deck.
They say what's good 2-2, it's good 3-2. Curveball. See what happens. But Dozier, for me, the last couple at bats, last couple games, he's been trying to go to right center. He's gotten a double in right center. He's gotten a big base hit to right center. That keeps the barrel in the zone. He doesn't have to roll over as much.
Yes. As for time. Three and 2. And an off-speed pitch. Gets the strikeout. A pair of 1, 2, 3 innings now for Johnson after a ragged first.
Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Oakland, Chris Davis had another big night at the plate last night against the Rangers. 2 home runs that accounted for 5 of the A's 6 runs. He's been on quite a hot streak. He has 6 home runs and 13 RBI over the last 4 games. His team also on quite a hot streak. They've won 26 of their last 33 games. Unfortunately, though, still 6.5 games back in the AL West. Guys?
Gibson with the first pitch change up to Benintendi, and he gets a swing and a miss, 1 strike. 31 home runs. Jose Ramirez of the Indians with 30.
Chris Davis with Oakland with 6 home runs, 13 RBIs in 4 games. Wow.
Since he was released by the Brewers, no one in baseball has hit more home runs than Chris Davis.
That's a bad release.
Well, you talked about J.D. Martinez and the Astros. This ball lifted down the left field line, and Rosario is there for the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Martinez.
There's been a couple in the last 20 years, 15, 20 years. J.D. Martinez, Astros released him, and look what he's doing. And it's always a guy that possibly doesn't have a position to play. Like, he's not a solid defensive player. But you talk about guys that can hit like J.D. Martinez, David Ortiz, and Chris Davis. I mean, pretty impressive.
Down and away, ball 1.
Do you think these guys just had a wake-up call? Like Ortiz released and played. I thought he played well in 2002. He released and came here. Fenway Park might have helped him a little bit, but it built his confidence up, and he got released, and I think it just gave him some reward because he had hard times.
Right.
J.D. Martinez is the same. He had another opportunity and he seized it.
Well, he really was a difference maker for the Diamondbacks last year after the Tigers got rid of Martinez. Jumped into their lineup and did very well. 1-1 to Martinez. I just wonder whether Martinez didn't benefit. I know he must have benefited greatly from being in that Tiger lineup with you, Miguel Cabrera, and you guys all had the whole field approach to hitting. And now, if anything, he's more dangerous to right and right center than he is to the pull side.
Yeah, our whole mindset was right center, stay right center. Not right field, stay right center, keep the bat head in the zone. And he came and he took that approach, and his locker was next to mine, so he knew I studied every night and studied the pitcher the night before. And when I come to the stadium, he's like, "What do you got?" That was his thing. "What you got, T?" And he just sit and he listens, man, and put his own spin on a lot of things.
Look how he has used the whole field. Hits by direction.
Right.
Big part of the field, getting 43 hits and nearly as many to right as left. Full count. And so then getting back to the Sano's and the Buxtons, both right-handed batters. And if they could just look at what Martinez has become in his career, what Cabrera became in his career, how you evolved from a, can I say, pull-happy youngster being sent back and forth to the minor leagues a lot, and what caused you to put together the career you had, it was opening up the whole field. Swing and a miss, a strikeout, 2 down.
Like I said, it takes demolition.
That's such a harsh word, though. No one wants to get demolished.
I mean, it's not a harsh word. It's like, you go through a rough time. Sometimes, when you're down and out, you have to climb up. You don't want to dig deeper. When you feel like, hey, I don't want to go any deeper, I need to climb out of this hole.
Right.
And I think demolition to renovate. Got to demolish to renovate, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of guys go through, man. And you see those guys who fight through it. They get to back to the big leagues and destroy, But those guys who, keep digging that ditch a little deeper, they can't climb out of it.
Just outside to Bogarts, he cracked a double off the monster and left his first time up.
He didn't want that pitch. Xander's a guy. If nobody's on, I'm not afraid of him. He could start a rally, but when runners in scoring position, I don't like him at the plate. He's been clutch in some playoff situations for me.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1. And feeble swing, kind of the same type of swing we saw Betts strike out with in the first inning. Look at this swing. A slider again.
Ooh.
But these are top shelf hitters, and that breaking ball that fooled Betts so badly in the first inning just got Bogaerts again for strike 2.
That's pretty filthy.
1-2. Did he go?
He offered at
Joe Wesson. Not only did he not go, I don't want to burn a calorie to tell you.
Yeah, he didn't say no. He said, nah. Joe West, I'm not a player anymore. I'm in the booth. I can talk about you.
2-2. Chopper into the shift. Dozier flips on the run. And a 1-2-3 third for Kyle Gibson. We got a 1-0 ball game. We've already had a couple of great throws.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you talk about Jackie Bradley, man. He has a strong arm. He's one of the best center fielders in the game and able to get Joe Mauer at home plate. And Joe making this great throw from across the diamond, first to third, to get. Hey, he got him right back. He threw out Joe, and Joe threw him out.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's Escobar, cracked foul, a wicked line drive.
That's going to leave a mark.
1 strike. Did he catch that with the bare hand? That's pretty impressive if he did.
I think he caught it with his shoulder.
Escobar with the third of 3 singles in the first inning. The Twins don't have a hit since. Missing inside, 1-1.
Even though his fastball is 80, 88, 86, it's pretty sneaky.
Tapper to short, easy play for Bogaerts. 1 down, and now 8 in a row set down by Johnson. We'll bring up Garver. Garver drew a walk that filled the bases. That was after Mauer had been thrown out at the plate. Difference in the ball game. The Twins had a runner thrown out at home, and the Red Sox had a runner thrown out at third base.
The same 2 guys threw out each other.
Garver takes one down the middle of strike. Mentioned that the Twins, and this I think would surprise most Twins fans who've watched a lineup that has struggled for a good part of the year. Twins actually have scored 5 more runs this year after 100 games than they did last year. And then, of course, we all know what happened to the lineup in August and September. They outscored everybody in the league in the last 7 weeks of the season. So there is the hope that this lineup can do what it did last year and kind of lead the way to a good run in the second half. 1-2 to Garver. The Twins are 7.5 games behind the Indians, and that half game will be made up tonight because the Indians are idle. So it'll either be 7 or 8 by the end of the game tonight.
I'll never forget 2001. We were up in August.
Right.
By 8 games or something like that.
Drive to right, retreating his Betts. 2 down.
Nice swing by Garver. And we were up 8 games or something like that in August. And Cleveland came back and won the division. We end up in second place, and there was no wild card then. So, I mean, anything's possible. If you get on a nice stretch and Cleveland goes on a bad stretch, I definitely think these guys can be in the mix.
As Paul Molitor said a few weeks ago, Grossman takes down an away ball 1. If the Indians do again this year what they've done the last 2 years, well, the Twins can't catch them. 2 years ago it was a 14-game winning streak. Last year it was a 22-game winning streak. Well, you're not going to catch somebody. The ground ball headed up the middle. Nice play by Holt, and out at first. We'll see if the Twins take a look at it. And Paul Molitor said, yeah, we want to take a look at it. It looked from up here as if it were very close.
Very close. He really got down. Oh, he took a chop step. That's what got him.
Yep. And he will be retired. I don't think the Twins will challenge that. And Joe West didn't burn any calories telling anybody. And it's a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Go back a few years.
Oh, this is pretty tough, man. Over there in that corner in center field, right center field, my spike got caught in that padding and just twisted my ankle. And then I end up breaking my ankle, and that was not good here in Fenway. And David Ortiz, once again, in the playoffs, the ALCS, I should not have been going for that ball. That ball was hit pretty hard. I don't know why. It was in no man's land. That ball was going over the fence anyway. But I'm in the playoffs, man. I got to win.
And that turned that whole series around, and the Red Sox went on to win the World Series.
It actually tied the game. We were winning
Right.
5-1. It was a bases loaded. He hit a grand slam. It's 5-5, and so I was just really trying to catch this ball, and I don't know why I did that. I ended up hurting myself pretty bad.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Now I asked you then, and when you were injured, your ankle in the triangle area out there, what happened? Is that your guy, by the way?
Yeah, he's supposed to be protecting and serving. He didn't protect me or serve me.
1-1.
Nah, he's a great man. I've been knowing him for a couple years, and we talk all the time. He's famous now, and I told him I want my 44 cent. I want my 44 cents. For every dollar you get, I want 44 cents.
Well, you've probably been asked to sign a few of those photos. I don't know whether he has or not.
Yeah, he has.
Down and away, and now it's 3-1. Well, I asked you when you left the lineup then with your broken ankle, who took your spot in center field, and you said Lou Ford. And Lou that year had 522 at bats. He hit 264, 7 home runs, 53 runs batted in. He had a pretty good year.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent year.
On the ground, and Escobar sets and fires. One thing that we've talked about, but it still should be highlighted from time to time, Escobar and the accuracy of his throws. I mean, now that's not the easiest play because he had to actually backpedal a little bit and then get his legs under him and throw, and it was chest high to Joe Mauer.
Yeah, you know, when I first came here in 2015 and, you know, watching him from afar, a little guy with all that power when I was with the Tigers would come play, hit opposite field home runs and turn on balls. I'm like, man, who is this guy? So I came in to play with him. They were saying that his defense wasn't all there and didn't know if he can play every day. But he's proven it the last couple of years, and you just keep him in the lineup. This guy can really hit the ball, and he's solid defensively.
6 in a row set down now by Gibson, yet he trails 1-0. Here's Devers. And now up and away, 1-1. Did you enjoy playing here? Paul Molitor said when he met with the media this was his favorite park to hit in.
Oh yeah, I hit pretty well here. I think I said 300, but the guy in my ear actually said I hit 320, 323 or 322.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was a wild swing.
1-2.
His slider has to be biting tonight. But it's just, you know, these guys, they boo you, they say anything, they say some crazy stuff to you, and you just like, all right, I'm going to get pumped up and show them, you know, who I really am. And I think, you know, just coming here, I was always ready to go and ready to fight and ready to play the game, and results 320 something.
One thing I remember, and this would have been with your early group, 2002 or 3. I remember Louis Rivas, right-handed batter, hitting one into the bullpen, and I thought, well, now, wow, that's a long way for a right-handed batter of that stature.
I remember that.
Sharply on the ground into center field, a one-out single for Devers. And Rivas had some hop to all fields, but that was impressive. Rivas was, what, about 5'10", kind of stocky, but that's a long way for a right-handed batter to hit the ball.
Oh yeah, Rivas was pretty good defensively. He had some power, had very good speed and a strong arm. But the one attribute that he was on the bench. Every time he's on the bench before the game, he talked to the great Gazoo he has on his shoulders. It's invisible, and he has a whole conversation with this guy on his shoulder. And if he was nice to him that day, he knew he was going to get hits. Then he said, hey, Gazoo is bad today. He's not talking to me today, and he didn't get any hits. It was pretty weird.
Here's Swihart, strike at the knees. Swihart singled and scored in the second inning. When the Red Sox got their run in the second, even though Betts eventually grounded into a double play, he does, or did, get credit for a run batted in because it was not a forced double play. Strike 2. So Betts now with 53 runs batted in on that play. Swihart came in from third base. Remember, that was the play where the Twins got an out at first base, and then Mauer threw back across and nailed Bradley trying to advance. So there is a run batted in on that double play. 2 strikes. Nice. Well, just a knockdown, and Dozier thought about second, and now the Twins have to scamper, and both of them do, Adrianza and Escobar, to third base. Now that was very similar to the play that Rosario exploited yesterday. Had Devers been more aware, he would have been able to get third base.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be aware of that. You know, they're starting to teach that in spring training now. When you're going and they playing the shift like that, make sure if you slide in, pop up and be ready to go to third. If he would have just been more attentive at second base and looking down that third base line, I definitely think he could have made it.
And so we'll see whether that comes into play here with Devers at second, not third base, 2 down, and Brock Holt, who got hit by a breaking ball in the back foot in the second inning. Pickoff to second. Paul Molitor talked about that. He sees more and more of that from Rosario, and it's something you think about in advance. Instinctually, you can react to it, but if you're a runner at first base and you see a shift like we see so often, and you imagine in your mind, okay, look, if there's a play at second base and the only infielder over there covers the bag, that might mean third base is open, and Rosario recognized that right away and very alertly scampered. The ball hit to short left, and Rosario makes a tumbling catch in left field to end the inning.
That's a really nice play. I hope he didn't hurt himself right there.
Nice catch by Rosario to end the threat, and it's 1-0. Fans of the game, not those folks, but walking down Boylston Street today, I met a big group of Twins fans from western Minnesota here at Fenway Park for the first time. Max Kepler to lead off the fifth inning for the Twins, and he takes ball one. 10 in a row set down by Boston starter Brian Johnson. Well, the Twins facing Johnson, who isn't overpowering in his velocity, but he's had command of a breaking ball, and as we talked about the other day in Toronto, those have been the guys that have really given the Twins some difficulty. Ryan Baracki of the Blue Jays tied the Twins up. Here's a drive to center, but playable for Jackie Bradley Jr. one away.
That's the swing I like to see Kepler have a lot more. Just stand on the ball, hitting that ball to left center field. Stay on the ball a lot more. I know he likes to pull the ball. That's going to happen. That's a reaction. You can't really work on pulling. But I like to see him have more of an approach of left center field. Keep that bat head in the zone a little longer.
Here's Adrianza. Would love to get Johnson back into the stretch. They not only had him in the stretch, they had him on the ropes in the first inning with 3 singles and a walk, but they didn't score. And haven't had a base runner since.
Yeah, he's pretty much mixing his pitches up pretty well. He's using that fastball to set up his curveball. It's a pretty sneaky fastball, like I said earlier. It plays as 80. It says 86, 87, 88, but it plays as 93, 94. It's on guys. I think he has a quick arm release. Quick arm. He kind of runs up on guys pretty quick.
Well, I like his tempo. He's earlier we were talking about Baracki, kind of a Mark Burley type of guy, and this guy's kind of cut out of the same cloth. I mean, he gets the ball back from the catcher. Let's look in for the sign. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a great comparison right there. I think he really hides the ball. He keeps that, once he takes the ball out of the glove, he keeps his arm behind his body, and it comes out of nowhere. See, 91, but it plays as he's late on that. And he hides the ball really well in between his body, and it comes out of nowhere. Hitters like to look for a window, and he's not getting in the window in time.
2-2. Foul back to the right side and out of play. When we've had Rod Carew up here, we asked Rod, you know, what did he focus on? And I think the context was a pitcher with an unusual delivery. It wasn't Pat Neshek, but somebody like that.
Yeah.
And he said he would find the spot, find the release point. And in Rod's case, with most pitchers, it was a certain distance away from the emblem of the cap. And the pitcher could do whatever he wanted to, but Rod was focused on that small area where the ball was going to be released. And one of the reasons he was such a great hitter was he was able to focus on that, recognize the pitch as it came out of the pitcher's hand. What tips or cues did you use to try to pick up the release point?
Well, I was always told, after you take a couple pitches, you kind of figure out where his release point is. It's not the same as looking at video the night before. You can't find the release point, not until you get up to the plate. But once I find a release point, I try to look in that window the whole time. But me, I try to look for pitches before he even threw it. I looked at his glove and how he set his glove up.
All right.
If it was below his belt, it was a different pitch. If it's higher than his belt, his glove was open, tighter on the fastball, open on the changeup. I looked for all that stuff before I looked in the window.
Full count to Adrianza, trying to get a board here with one out in the fifth. Strike three over the inside corner. Johnson clipped the corner with a fastball.
A sneaky fastball, had 2 strikes on him. He's been late on that fastball the whole time, so he just tried to finish him with that fastball. And you see where he hides the ball and it comes out of nowhere. Actually had a little cut action on it.
Target was on the outside corner. Pitch was over the inside corner, and probably the opposite of framing a pitch. Swihart swept the glove out of the strike zone, but he got the call.
Yeah, that was a great mistake. Can you say that? Great mistake?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what
Made
it was.
a lot of those in my life.
Me too.
Foul back. 2 strikes. Wilson struck out swinging his first time up. And after struggling in the first, Johnson had a 1-2-3 second, third, and fourth innings, and now he'll try to have a 1-2-3 fifth.
You know, when you're hitting bad and you're struggling, every time I stepped in the box, I felt like I was 0-2.
That's to short center. Bradley hustling in, and a basket catch in center field, a la Willie Mays. And it is another 1-2-3 fifth inning. The bottom of the 5th inning. Rosario entered the 4th. And this StatCast is powered by AWS. There isn't much territory to cover in left field, but Eddie covered it.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie Rosario, man, got that knee out front. I really don't teach guys to slide feet first or knee first because of plays like that. You really can injure yourself. I never really did it. Only when I tried to avoid a player or avoid the wall or something like that. But I've never been a feet first. I remember Alex Cole sliding into the Metrodome, and he tore his knee up. And I said I would never do that. And it kind of stuck with me for the rest of my career.
Jackie Bradley Jr. to lead off the Boston 5th, inside ball 1. Well, Gibson's pitched well again here when he faced the Red Sox at Target Field. Just 2 runs over 6 innings, but he ended up getting the loss. And now 1 run over 4 innings, and he finds himself behind 1-0. Pulled foul, and it's 1-1.
You know, I was talking about Rosario earlier. You know, the way I would teach it would be I do more of a shoestring catch, because when you slide feet first, your feet goes first and your body goes backwards. So you'll go away from the ball. But I actually teach either reach out and get that catch or dive for it. And so you cover more ground if you reach for the ball opposed to going backwards to get your feet forward or your knee forward. But you never know. He's probably trying to avoid Adrianza or the lights.
Yeah, swing and a strike again. It's 2-2. Now with 2 strikes, Escobar will swing over to the right side of the infield.
And that's been Jackie Bradley's, I think, issue is he pulled that first pitch foul. He check swung on that off speed, thinking pull, and now you got Escobar, third baseman, right there on the right side as well. He's pulling a lot. There it
Tap
is.
to the right side, and Escobar will cut in front of Dozier. 1 down. Replay brought to you by Jeep, with Escobar being the ball hog that he is. Took the ground ball away from Brian Dozier.
Yeah, this is a fastball up. See, he should have went the other way. That ball was away, and he actually tried to pull a fastball that was up and away. Usually you shoot that ball the other way. Even foul with 2 strikes, but he's been doing that all year, and that's the result. Tough year for him offensively.
Kidding about the ball hog stuff, of course. 1 down, and now Betts will bat. Speaking of that, though, I mean, you started in center field, and the old adage is center fielder makes all the calls and makes all the catches. And then when you had to move to right field, did you have to defer to the center fielder a lot?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in center field, say about 20 years, I've always controlled everything. You're the guy who controlled everything, even the infielders. You call them off. And Jock Jones would always call me Kelly Leak from the baseball movie, the kiddie baseball movie.
Oh, Sandlot?
Yeah.
Bad News Bears.
Yeah, Bad News Bears. That's what it was. He said, Kelly Leak, you always call everything. You want everything. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Be a ball hog. That's what center fielder is supposed to be.
But then you moved to right with the Angels, right?
I had to humble myself.
But was that for Mike Trout or Borges?
That was for Borges.
Okay.
Borges was fast. I mean, I couldn't believe how much energy I had playing in right field.
Really?
Oh my God. I was not tired at the end of the season. So thanks for moving me to right field.
1-2 to Betts. It was 0 for 2 against Gibson. And another strikeout, and Gibson again not only is having good at bats with some of the Boston batters, he's having good at bats with the best Boston batters.
Man, he's been throwing his off speed. It's been pretty nasty, pretty filthy all day. Why stop throwing it now? You got to keep throwing it. These guys this is a great hitting team, ball club right here, and this slider is making them look pretty bad.
2 down, and now Benintendi.
He's containing the 2-headed monster right now.
Given this Boston lineup, And a bluff bunt by Benintendi with the pull shift. If he can get through the 5th inning here, that's 11 innings against the Red Sox with 3 runs allowed. That's pretty good. That's less than half their average run production. 1-0. And now 2-0. Baseball moves today. Jay Happ going to the Yankees.
Wow.
Britton to the Yankees. Joaquin Soria to Milwaukee.
What? Yankees made those kind of moves?
And missing outside, now 3-0 with JD Martinez on deck.
Benintendi's a guy, it's amazing because he's a guy who has speed, power, hit for average, everything, and he still doesn't want to bunt right there, get that free base hit.
He ends up walking instead, and Martinez will bat with a man aboard.
I guess you can take the walk as well.
The acquisition of Martinez a big reason for this, of course. He's got 31 home runs, but last year Twins hit just over 200 home runs. The Red Sox all year long hit 168. They hit barely 1 home run per game played last year. They've already hit 140 this year.
Wow.
I mean, the Twins by plenty out-homered the Red Sox last year, and that's not the case this year.
You had a guy like JD and Mookie Betts is actually been doing really well, remarkably well.
Red Sox have played 103 games to hit their 140 home runs. The Twins have played 100 games and hit 103 home runs. But of course, they've gotten negligible contributions from Miguel Sano, who someday might hit 40 or more in the big leagues. He would be their JD Martinez. And the Yankees, of course, leading everybody with 162 home runs. And we talk about the power and the team batting average. And then we need to tell you, too, that the Red Sox love to steal bases.
Yeah.
76 steals in 92 tries. Dribbled to the right side, and Gibson will make the play himself. 1 unassisted. Now he's the ball hog, taking the ground ball away from Joe Mauer.
Ball hog, I like that. Trust it.
And 1-0 here tonight. Joe Mauer continuing to swing a hot bat, and he's had 178 3-hit games.
Wow. This guy's, he's very special, man. He knows how to hit the ball. doesn't try to do much with it. Joe can hit 25, 30 home runs a year if he really wanted to, but he chooses to be an all-around hitter and hit for power. I mean, that's what he does. That's who he is.
Liner left, one down. The one thing all those names have in common on that chart, other than you with 85, but everybody else on that list, batting champion, with Tony Oliva having won 3 batting titles. Joe's won 3. Rod Carew won 7. Kirby Puckett won 1. Bauer going after the first pitch, and he lines out, 1 down, and now Rosario. Twins are really having a tough time with Brian Johnson.
When you name all those guys on that list, that's a special list, but most of those guys on that list are guys with bat control. If Joe was to hit for more power, he would not be on that list.
Twins with 3 hits against Johnson, and they came in the first 4 at bats. Down and away, ball 1. Rosario with a couple of flies to center. Longest outing of the year for Johnson. And Rosario swings and misses.
That was 87 miles an hour, and he swung at it like it was 102. I mean, there's something special about this guy's fastball. I don't know what it is, but look at that. That was Bayou Classic. That was by him.
A Bayou Classic, huh? And now 2-1. Twins have taken 1 walk. That was by Garver in the first inning to load the bases, but this guy's been pretty tough, and we've seen pitchers like him do this to the Twins many times in the past. And now 3-1 to Rosario.
Kind of checked out his last 2 starts, and I mean, he pretty much did the same thing to those guys as well. He mixes his pitches up well. His curveball, he will throw at any time, but he plays it off the fastball and he keeps it up. So he's changing the eye level all the time.
And Rosario takes a walk, and at least Johnson will be moving out of the stretch position for the first time since the first inning.
I said leadoff walk scores a run 40% of the time.
This was a 1-out walk, but we'll hope for the same result.
Oh, great to correct me.
MLB.TV now available at a lower price for $82.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. Strike 1 to Brian Dozier. Dozier with a single to center in the first, and then he went down swinging in the third.
This will be a good time to execute what he's been working on. Shoot that ball to the right side with that big hole. Or he can hit a homer. That's always good.
16 of them hit for Dozier. And we for years talked about Joe Mauer and how his left-handed swing was made for this ballpark. Well, how about Brian Dozier's right-handed swing? There's a ball lined left center field, down for a hit, and Rosario flies to third base, and Dozier will try to go to second, and he is safe. And now coming home is Rosario, and he'll be out by play. Well, the Twins have tried to run the bases aggressively here against the Red Sox, and they've had 2 runners thrown out at the plate.
I like aggressiveness, but too aggressive is not good.
I don't think too many runners run on Jackie Bradley to third base. Rosario made it safely, and then Dozier aggressively ran to second. Looks like the Red Sox are checking to see whether Dozier was safe or out at second.
Well, I like the aggressiveness going first to third, but too aggressive coming home for Rosario.
Well, the Twins, who got a walk and a solid single by Dozier. Here's the play at second base. Dozier sliding to the outside part of the bag and somehow keeping his fingers on the base, and then Holt alertly firing home.
Yeah, he was out by a mile.
And of course, in instead of second and third with one out and the cleanup batter due up. Now they're 2 down and the Twins need a 2-out hit to get the game tied up.
Yeah, I don't know if he ran through a sign, if Gino was trying to get him to stop at third. I don't know what happened right there, but
foul behind Gene Glenn. Again, Paul Molitor just talking about Rosario's aggressiveness most of the time. He says it works out, but this time it did not.
Yeah, that first to third, this was actually a good play. I wouldn't mind doing that with one out. But on this, I don't know if Gene Glenn was actually telling him to stay or he just ran on his own. I don't know for sure. Can't see him.
Swung on and missed. And it's 0-2. Escobar with a single in the first inning. It was the play where Mauer was thrown out at the plate. He's blocked by Swihart.
If he stays at third right there, you know, I'm pretty sure Gene told him to stay there because you know Escobar is coming up to the plate.
Yeah.
He's been hitting the ball pretty hard.
6th inning, Red Sox may bring the infield in to choke off the run.
They might pitch around him because the base would have been open to get the Mitch, but we'll take our chances on that.
1-2 to Escobar. And now 2-2. Johnson approaching his season high in pitches thrown of 84. Another nice block by Swihart. First base is open.
And here's Rosario right here. He's at third. Oh, he paid no attention to Gino. So he went on his own, and yeah, that was a tough play.
Well, there was a trip to the mound here with first base open. Of course, everybody knows Escobar is having a very solid year. And so maybe the discussion was, hey, don't do anything foolish with first base open, and a less proven hitter, Garver, on deck.
I think he goes to his best pitch, and that's a curveball. What's good 2-2? Always good 3-2.
And it misses. And Escobar, after falling behind 0-2, ends up taking an all but intentional walk, and that's going to be the end of the ball game for Brian Johnson. Here in the 6th inning, the first pitch line out off the bat of Mauer. A walk to Rosario, a solid base hit by Dozier, and a walk to Escobar, and then a 1-run ball game. Alex Cora will make the move. Presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. In Interesting things always happen at Fenway Park. Twins have lost a couple of base runners at home plate, trailing 1-0. And now the Red Sox will go to their bullpen. Heath Embry has been pretty good for the Red Sox. Will come in to pitch to Mitch Garver. Embry, low opponent batting average and a high number of strikeouts, 56 of them in the 41 innings pitched. Garver with a walk and a fly ball to right. 2 men aboard. 2 men are out.
I don't think Mitch has faced this guy before. I can see him either ambush it or take it. Hopefully he takes the first pitch.
Outside ball 1.
Just to see what he has and see how the ball is moving.
Mention the Red Sox right now, unless they were to put Drew Pomerantz into the bullpen, which is an entirely a possible thing to do, they do not have a left-handed reliever. Some think that Johnson will get moved back to the bullpen. Kind of hard to quarrel with what he looked like in the rotation tonight.
He's been looking good the last couple starts.
Pomerantz was supposed to pitch the series finale on Sunday until the Red Sox picked up Eovaldi from the Rays, and now Eovaldi's going to start on Sunday.
That guy could be filthy. He can. I don't know how he gets hit, but he's just nasty.
Swung on and missed 1-1. Twins lit him up pretty good when the Rays came to Target Field before the All-Star break.
Yeah. I mean, he gets hit, but his stuff is so filthy. It's like splitties 92, 91, fastballs 90, 96 to 99. He has a really good arm.
1-1 to Garver. Swung on and missed 96. We'll talk more about it on Sunday, but can you imagine more baseball cultural whiplash than what Eovaldi's gone through going from St. Petersburg to Boston? My goodness.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Grossman on deck. Twins trying to get this game tied up in the 6th. So far they've taken 2 walks and a single. Chop to second. Easy play for Holt. And a flip to first, and the Twins come up empty in the 6th. It's still 1-0. Got the walk-off hit today for the Cubs. They will take on the Cardinals. Coverage begins at 2:30 p.m. Central on FS1 or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Bryant put back on the disabled list after what, a week and a half, back on the disabled list with left shoulder inflammation. And the Cubs reportedly made a move tonight, acquiring Cole Hamels from the Texas Rangers.
Wow.
So there are a lot of moves being made on a daily basis. Gibson misses down and away to Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts with a double and a ground out. Check swing. And Joe West, demonstrative, animated. Said, no, he did not swing. 2-0.
I just don't understand how most of these guys, man, they're really good hitters, but his slider must be really biting today because they're check swinging on all their sliders.
There's a strike. We saw that in his start against the Yankees. He was just brilliant against the Yankees, and he had great command of the slider. Would drop the breaking ball, the slower breaking ball, the curve on the outside corner to their monstrous right-handed batters. And that's as well pitched a ball game as Kyle Gibson's had in the big leagues. And then, of course, that was the game where Sanchez hit the walk-off. Gibson should have gotten the win in that ball game. But what the Twins have imagined being in there is now being revealed on a pretty regular basis. This guy's really good.
Yeah.
2-2. Half swing. Joe West says no. 3-2. Stop asking me.
It's so smooth. He check swung, and Joe, did he go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full count to the leadoff man in the 6th. Popped up. And Wilson back and just about 2 feet on top of the screen.
That ball was so far in, the fastball, and Xander looked like he got to it with ease. I think he's really sitting on that fastball. Look at this fastball. It's off the plate, up and in, and he tried to he almost caught up to it. So you got to throw off speed right here.
Full count to Bogaerts, then Pierce and Devers. Got him.
That works.
And Gibson with a strikeout of Bogaerts, 1 down.
That's a good pitch. Like we said earlier, Gibson has really been keeping that fastball inside. And look at that two-seamer just run in. He missed it by a mile. And that's a fastball. Usually you can foul a fastball off, but it had some movement on it. You couldn't do anything with it. 1
down, and now Pierce, who walked in the 1st inning and bounced out to 3rd in the 4th.
This guy can really hit a fastball.
Down and away, ball 1. Same pitch, same spot, same result, 2-0.
Pierce used to have an open stance, and he would just pull balls all the time. He closed it up a little bit, and maybe to keep him from going across his body, his swing going towards third base. He's more, when you close yourself off like that, you want to go more up the middle. And he's probably covering more of the plate.
The pitch looked like it was right down the middle, and Pierce shaking his head like, all right, it was 2-0. I got a fastball to pull, and I didn't swing.
Yeah, he wanted to swing.
Yeah. Well, why didn't he? 2-1. And now Gibson comes back with a breaking ball and gets another swing and a miss.
I think you have to throw that again. He is definitely a rat, and you can't throw the cheese by the rat. This guy loves that fastball.
Two and 2. Boston first baseman. 3-2.
Nice little change up.
92 pitches thrown for Gibson. Zach Duke getting loose.
What's your call? What's the pitch right here? What do you think?
Slider.
What's good? 2-2. It's good. 3-2.
Change up then, right? How about a fastball on the outside corner? 2 down.
Yeah, that would have struck me out too. I always say it was good 2-2. It's good 3-2. But Cal switched it up on him, and 94-mile-an-hour fastball that was down the middle that he thought was inside. Look at him. He pulls his body back. It's a really good pitch.
2 down, 2 strikeouts here in the 6th, and now Devers, who singled with 1 out in the 4th. He also hit a fly ball to left to end the 1st inning.
This is a guy you throw a lot of changeups to.
Breaking ball down and in. 1-0.
That's kind of an open stance. Saw him swing a couple times. He rolls his wrist. His barrel comes out of the zone.
Bouncer to short. An easy play for Adrianza. So far this year, Kyle Gibson's pitched 12 innings against the best lineup in the major leagues and has given up 3 runs. Of the game.
And you got Jackie Bradley. Balls hit the center field. Joe Mauer trying to get home, and he made a nice throw to home plate to get Joe Mauer. Then you got Mookie Betts hitting the ball to short, fielder's choice. And Joe Mauer with the arm across the field. Jackie Bradley was trying to go first and third right there, but gunned down by Mauer. And Jackie right here once again making the throw, cutting it off. Rosario didn't look at the third base coach, and they didn't make it. So a lot of aggression on the base paths today. A lot of aggression for 1 run.
We'll see if the Twins can get it tied up here in the 7th inning. Robbie Grossman will lead things off. It'll be Grossman, Kepler, and Adrianza facing Hembree. Strike called over the inside corner. Grossman struck out swinging in the 1st, leaving the bases full. Then he hit a ground ball to 2nd in the 4th.
We need to get some base runners right here. The game is getting late. So big hit right here. Come on, Grossman.
Chop foul, 2 strikes. Whether the Red Sox add a left-handed reliever here in the next few days remains to be seen. Think that just within the division, think of the Yankees and you think of their right-handed power, but come playoff time, if it's a wild card situation, although right now the Red Sox have a comfortable lead in the division, success or failure in the playoffs might come down to having that one guy to get a potent left-handed batter out. You can see it's a 5.5 game lead, but we've got 2 months left to play, more than 2 months left to play.
The Red Sox doesn't need to do. Oh, get down. Nice.
Base hit to short left, and Grossman fights one off and gets a base hit to lead off the 7th inning. Bring up Kepler.
Grossman fought right there. He had 2 strikes. He was down 0-2 early in the count and was able to battle and get that pitch off him. It was a fastball inside. He stayed short and sweet and poked it the other way.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. You look at the Boston relievers like Hembree, and right-handed as they are very effective against lefties. Hembree, for instance, an opponent batting average of .204 against lefties. Barnes, .232. Kimbrel, .164.
Yeah.
Kelly, .151. So it's a surface look. Well, the Red Sox got to have a left-handed reliever, but you look how effective their righties are against lefties, and you go, no, we can stand pat and get by with what we've got.
I mean, they could, if they get something special, get a lefty that's special in the bullpen in a trade, I think it'll work. But they don't really need to make a big move. I mean, you look at their starting rotation. I think four of their 5 starters have 10 wins or more. You know, I mean, they're not hurting in that area. They're not hurting, you know, as far as the offensive side. The bullpen is not hurting, but the only thing you can say is, hey, they need a lefty in the bullpen. So if they go get one, if it makes sense, they'll do it. But if it doesn't make sense, they don't have to do it.
They were in on Zach Britton, but he went the other way. Or the Orioles spun him the other way. Kepler on a 2-0 pitch, pounds it foul. So then you look at the left-handed relievers who are out there that might still be dealt. And I suppose you could include Zach Duke on that list. He's not in Britton's category in terms of being a lights-out closer at one point in his career, but there's going to be a lot of moves. We've seen a lot of action already today in the transaction page. Kepler takes inside, and now it's 3-1. Twins trying to build a threat here in the 7th. They really haven't done that since the 1st inning.
3-1, you got to let the big dog just eat.
And translate that then for the rest of us.
That means let him swing all day and nothing but smoke come out of his shoes. Oh, what are you doing?
At the knees, it's 3-2. Grossman with average speed. I think Kepler was convinced that was a strike because it was not.
Oh, that's not a pitch. That's not a pitch you want to swing at. That was a good one.
Okay.
I'm sorry for saying what are you doing. That was a good take.
3-2 to Kepler. Grossman goes, and the pitch hit
First
into
to
right field. A base hit, and Grossman will gain third base. Good at bat for Kepler, and the tying run 90 feet away.
There you go, Kep. 3-2. Grossman is on the run. You got to send Grossman right here. 3-2 count. Put him on the run and open up some holes, and he was able to turn on that ball right there, stay short in the fastball, and get it in there. 3-hole over there. And great job by Grossman going first and third. Had that on his mind before the ball was even hit.
Now, Adrianza, we mentioned at the outset the Twins have 2 switch-hitting shortstops. Polanco better from the left side, Adrianza better from the right side, but the splits for Adrianza aren't that sharp. They're not as severe as they are for Polanco, who's really struggling from the right side of the plate. Adrianza still hitting .234 from this side. Squaring, bunting in the air, 1 strike. Apparent safety squeeze. And now Paul Molitor recalibrating and issuing a new set of signs.
Was that a squeeze?
No.
Might have been just a drag bunt.
Whatever it wasn't very good, and Adrianza's lucky that it was popped foul.
Yes.
Rather than popped up in fair territory.
Just got to battle, stay short. You got to get that run in from third, no matter what happens. Just hit the ball somewhere where they try to field it.
0-2. A speed pitch.
This is where you tell yourself, I want to get jammed. If you think get jammed in this situation, you actually stay shorter. You might not hit the ball for power, but you actually make contact to get that run in. 1 run is like 10 runs today. It's been tough to come by.
Infield back, they'll give up the run to get the double play grounder, but pitches up and away. Ball 1. Adrianza from this side of the plate against right-handed pitchers. Ryan Brazier and Matt Barnes getting loose. 141 at bats, 37 strikeouts. Trying to put the ball in play here and hopefully get the Twins into a tie ball game. Inside, 2-2.
2-2 fastball. This might be a where I would probably sing Kepler right here. Pitcher got to be like a 1-3, almost a 1-4 to the plate. If he picks that leg up, I think Kepler should run.
He's checked it first.
And he's thinking the same thing. And usually when they pick over like that in this situation, I think he wants to throw an off speed. Kepler should be getting a good lead so he can get a nice jump.
Kepler stays put. Adrianza bounces it towards second. They get 1. They get 2, and the Twins get the tying run. Grossman comes in from third base. It's 1 apiece. No run batted in for Adrianza.
But that's a great job. Even though he doesn't get a run batted in, he made contact with 2 strikes. Guy's throwing 93 to 96. He made contact. If he strikes out, nothing happens. But if he makes contact right there, we score that run. Now it's 1-1. It's 0-0 ball game by him making contact right there. Only thing they can do is try to, go for the double play and make the double play. We still get a run across. Team player.
Bobby Wilson swings and misses. 0 for 2. He has struck out and hit a fly ball to center. First and third, nobody out. The Twins get the tying run. But now they're 2 gone and the base is empty.
About Bobby Wilson hitting the ball off the green monster.
Oh, back 0-2.
That was his pitch. It's no fun being 0-2 every time you come to the plate.
Off the plate, 1-2. Twins out hitting the Red Sox 6-4. Driven to right field, a base hit. Bobby Wilson barrels one up.
That was beautiful.
That'll get Mauer to the plate here in the 7th inning.
That was nice. That was a good swing by Bobby Wilson, shooting that ball the other way. Usually he rolls over and pull the ball, but did a good job of shooting the ball the other way. He kept the barrel in the zone. It's nice.
Alex Cora will come out and make another move here. Embry giving up 3 singles and the tying run in the 7th. He'll come out with Joe Mauer due up next. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. Twins with 7 hits. They've all been singles. 3 of them here in the 7th inning have tied the game. Now Mauer will come up against Matt Barnes, who's been good against righties and lefties. Look at the opponent batting average, 161.
Wow.
Lefties hitting 232 against them. And righties just 121.
I had a chance to face him in 2015, and I thought he had really good stuff. He was around 95, 96, but his changeup was pretty good.
Twins have had a couple of walk-off hits against Barnes. One of them a home run by Mauer. Kepler hit one out against him as well a couple of years ago. Crisp fastball, 96.
He's still throwing 96.
He did there.
Unbelievable.
He's stopped by Swihart. And Wilson took a couple steps towards second and then slammed on the brakes. Seen Swihart do that 3 or 4 times here tonight. Some pitches first by Johnson and that one by Barnes, landing well in front of the plate.
It's pretty athletic behind the plate. Nice slim body. And usually your catchers are little big body guys, but this guy's pretty athletic back there. He's get to the ball pretty good after he blocks it.
Foul ball. So far, the Green Monster's not come into play for the Twins in their at-bats. See if Mauer can change that.
2 strikes. I definitely think that's his approach right now. Shoot the ball the other way. I mean, today, all the balls he hit in the last couple of days to left field in Toronto, he had like 5 or 6 extra hits.
1-2. Foul over the Twins dugout.
That's his approach. It's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Mauer stayed on it. It was up in the zone as well, so his swing is nice and short and sweet. I think that pitch was just to set up this next pitch. Just hopefully he can get it up and drive it.
Another 1-2. 2-2. 98.
Arm gotten stronger.
Away again. When you see Joe swing the bat this well, and most at bats, hitting the ball right on the barrel, hitting it sharply, it tells me that A, there's still a really good hitter there, and B, that I think he wants to keep playing. I think he realizes he can still contribute to a winning ball club. We'll see what he can get done here in the 7th inning. Facing a tough right-hander. Breaking ball, got him. Twins get 3 singles. They score a run on a double play grounder, and it's 1 apiece as we go to the home half of the 7th. On the Royals 1 week from Saturday, August 4th, and before the game, Johan Santana will join Torrey Hunter and others in the Twins Hall of Fame. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will get a Johan Santana Twins Hall of Fame bobblehead presented by Delta Airlines. You can go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets and learn more. Big honor for you, wasn't it? To go into the Twins Hall of Fame?
It's definitely a great honor, man. It just, you wasn't expecting it, and Johan Santana, man, is well deserved, and one of my greatest, funnest, happiest teammates I ever played with.
First pitch, tapped foul off the bat of Blake Swihart. It'll be Swihart, Holt, and Bradley in the 7th, and Gibson again has been really, really good. Look what he's done against this Boston lineup. 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts in 12 innings. To right and deep. And Grossman closes on it, makes a nice running catch, 1 away.
Nice play by Grossman right there. I was hit down that right field line. He was able to cover that like a safety.
We mentioned it kind of in passing in the open. People talk or think about the short fence here in Boston, the tall fence, 37 feet tall. But I've always thought center field and right field are more difficult to play. The pesky pole is right down the line, and any hit down the line to right has got to be played very carefully, because if you take an angle on the ball and don't get it, I mean, you're talking about an inside the park home run if the guy can run a little bit. And the triangle area that snapped your ankle 13 years ago, whenever that was, that's not an easy position to play.
This is a tough place to play the outfield. It's pretty hard. When was the last time they had an outfielder win the Gold Glove here?
Betts.
Yeah, Betts is pretty good. That's why you put him over there in right field and let him do his thing. But that wall in left field is pretty tough.
Mauer catches a line drive, 2 down.
Nice.
And that'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr.
I always felt like that green monster, if you look at it, it looks like it's so pretty, it's so nice, it's so historic. But when you hit that thing, your inside shake.
When you physically hit it with your body.
With your body. Not hit it with the ball off the bat. I'm talking about when you're pursuing the ball as an outfielder, you jump up and you catch the ball and you hit it. It makes you not want to do that again.
Over the inside corner to Bradley. Bradley with a ground out, and then another one in the 5th. 1-1. Well, Gibson's been marvelous again. And if he can complete the 7th, maybe the Twins get a run in the 8th. He's got a chance to beat the Red Sox, having pitched well enough twice to get the win against Boston. Late on the 93-mile-per-hour fastball.
On that pitch right there, just tried to pull it. It was a down and away pitch.
Trevor Hildenberger getting loose. One and 2 to the number 9 batter. Foul ball. Holding the Red Sox so far to just 4 hits, a double, and 3 singles.
I like how Molly let him go back out there to finish this inning. 104 pitches. He's been good.
Got him. 7 brilliant innings for Kyle Gibson. And we've got a tie game going to the 8th.
There you go, Gibby.
Well, it's got to be tough to take Kyle Gibson out of a ball game as well as he's pitched. But Paul Molitor taking him out after 7 innings. So 13 innings against the Red Sox. Best hitting team in the game. And he gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs. And now to the 8th inning, Eddie Rosario will lead things off against Barnes. Swung on and missed. We've seen 96. That one's 97. We've seen 98. Can understand why he's tough against both righties and lefties.
Yeah, he's definitely has pretty good stuff. He's throwing that straight fastball, keeping it up. Must have really late life to that 97 as well, because guys are swinging and missing. Just can't quite get to it.
0-2 to Rosario.
Pretty good breaking pitch he threw to Joe Mauer to strike him out, but you know, when anybody throws 96 to 98 and has a great off speed as well, it's pretty filthy.
Targets up high, and Rosario takes.
Just a show me pitch, 0-2 waste pitch, show this pitch to throw the slider or the curveball.
That's a back foot slider, and it nearly hit the back foot. 1 down.
That's nasty.
And that'll bring up Dozier.
I mean, what are you going to do? The guy threw 97 fastball up, and then he throws a slider that breaks down and into you. That's no fair. You're like swinging to protect yourself, not swinging to stay alive at the plate. You're swinging to protect your back foot.
Here is Dozier, a couple of singles in the ball game and a strikeout. Ball 1. Twins with 7 hits, all of them singles. Only extra base hit went to the Red Sox in the first inning.
I think he throws another slider for a strike, and Dozier crushes it over the green monster.
So that's a call.
It's a call. If he hang it, he's going to bang it. There it is.
Played 2-0.
I told you he was going to throw another one. Now he has to throw the fastball.
And Brian will try to be ready for it.
What?
Another breaking ball. This one hit the corner.
That'll blew my back out right there. Swinging. Just saw blue smoke.
Well, 3-1 with Escobar on deck.
He has to throw a fastball right here, and hopefully Dozier puts a good swing on it, and if you got too cheap to the fastball. If you throw anything else, you tip your cap.
And a walk, just missing the inside corner, and Dozier's aboard with 1 out.
That was a good at bat by Dozier right there, just waiting for his pitch. Didn't get it.
For Escobar comes up. Twin season ticket packages are now more convenient than ever. All traditional ticket plans include unlimited ticket exchange options, so you never have a ticket go unused. Season ticket holders are also automatically enrolled in the Sweet Spot Benefits and Rewards program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/season tickets. Now, this is your guy, right? Escobar.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably the most popular guy in the clubhouse, and what he has done so very well in his last few years, using the whole field both as a left-handed batter and a right-handed batter. This guy's got some velocity. We'll see if Escobar can get the green monster in play here.
Mighty Mouse loves cheese.
Strike on the outside corner.
Tough pitch.
Dozier at first, being held by Pierce. Swung on and missed at 98. 0-2.
You know, like when I first got to the major leagues, the strike zone was more east to west. You know, it was in, little in and a little out, a little more out than now. But now it's more north to south. You know, they're not really getting that outside corner, inside corner. They're getting more up in the strike zone. You get more up in the strike zone, you have more homers and more strikeouts.
Dozier goes. The pitch swung on and missed. And Dozier steals second base and will look toward third, and that's it. Escobar strikes out, but Dozier gets a swipe of second base, and that'll bring up Garver. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but the base hit by Dozier, and now a stolen base will bring up Garver with the go-ahead run in scoring position.
The fastball was 98 miles an hour, and Dozier got a pretty good jump off of him and get into scoring position. Now we're threatening.
Dozier couldn't see where the ball went because his helmet came down over his eyes. Where'd that go?
He couldn't see anything.
Now Garver, who had a chance to deliver a big hit in the 6th inning with 2 men on and 2 out and grounded out, will hit here with another opportunity presented him in the 8th.
I remember doing the show with you, doing this with you in Anaheim, and Mitch was in the same situation. He shot a fastball 90-something miles an hour to right field, and we got the go-ahead run, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just had like I just relived a dream or something.
Okay.
Huh? Deja vu? Yeah, that's it. Deja vu.
Outside ball 1. Garver walked in the 1st, hit a fly ball to right in the 4th, and a ground ball to 2nd in the 6th.
I definitely think I can see the future.
Okay.
Let's play the power ball.
Fastball on the outside corner. A hit to the outfield, particularly to center and right, doesn't guarantee a run. Both those guys can throw. Betts in right and Bradley in center. We've already seen that.
Well, with 2 outs, you know, any kind of swing, Dozier actually should get a great jump. He's thinking go once he sees Mitch even take the bat off his shoulder.
2-1.
So the secondary should be huge, and I think that's what Dozier's got on his mind right now, is just getting a good jump.
To left field. Benintendi over.
Oh,
Won't get
goodness.
there, and Garver delivers. Dozier will score, and Garver gets the first Twins extra base hit to put them in front.
Yeah, I need to go to the casino. Where is it?
A 2-out double for Garver, who drove in 5 yesterday, and he drives in an awfully big one here tonight.
Yeah, he stayed short on that fastball, was able to shoot that thing to left center field. Oh, no, it was an all-speed hangy. He bangy. He stayed short and saw that pitch into off his barrel, and he crushed it. And now we have another runner in scoring position, and we're threatening again with Grossman at the plate.
Grossman singled and scored his last time up. A little pop-up, but they had the shift on. This is trouble. Now coming in from left field, Benintendi grabs it to end the inning.
Big
But the
hit,
Twins
Mitch.
get a big double for Mitch Garver, and they've got their first lead 2-1.
Hangy, we bangy.
how Gibson was done, but he is out there to at least start the 8th inning. The Twins gave him a lead, and he wants to lock it down at least to start the 8th inning. Mookie Betts has had 2 really difficult at bats against Gibson. Gibson has struck him out twice, and we'll see whether he might be asked to get Betts and then come out of the game.
This is not physical. This is mental. He has a bulldog mentality. Going back out there on the mound.
Missing inside. Now it's 2-0. Thought everything was set up for Hildenberger to get the 8th, Rodney the 9th, but Gibson may have asked his way into the 8th inning. See if he can finish it. 2-0. Ground ball. Great stop it short. Adrianza comes up firing. Ray Adrianza with a great play to take a hit away from the batting leader.
That was a pretty impressive play. Great heads-up play. Wow.
Gibson said, give me the ball. Let's go.
Gibson's ready to go. Man, check out this play. Fastball down and away. Mookie Betts hits it in the hole, and Adrianza makes a great diving play. Gets up on his feet and get to the speedy Mookie Betts.
Benintendi with a couple of outfield flies and a walk.
He's happy about that.
Missing ball 1 with Wilson holding it, not getting the call. 1-0. Mm. 2-0, and he's fallen behind both Betts and Benintendi. 2-0. Jake Caves in center. Max Kepler moving to right.
Really good move by Molitor, putting his best defensive guys out there late in the game like this. Grossman had his ladders at bat. Might as well take him out and put Cave out there.
Chopped up the right side, foul. I'm talking with Jake Cave after he hit a home run at Wrigley Field a few weeks ago. He says now he really wants to play a game at Fenway Park. His status on the roster, of course, a little fluid. Well, there he is in center field at Fenway Park in a 1-run game.
You just can't imagine what they're saying to him out there in center.
2-2.
Center field, those bleacher creatures, those monsters out there, whoop, they say some crazy stuff. It keeps you in the game.
2-2 to Benintendi. Another chopper foul. Another 2-2. Full count. JD Martinez on deck, and if Gibson wants to finish the 8th inning, I'm guessing he's got to get Benintendi if he wants any part of Martinez. Full count to Benintendi. Ground ball hit to Dozier. 2 down in the 8th inning.
You got to leave him out there.
Martinez singled in the first, struck out against Gibson in the 3rd. And then Gibson fielded a number and ran to the bag and got him in the 5th.
Did you see the focus in his eyes?
I saw it after Betts grounded out. Gibson was adamant. Give me the ball. I want the ball. Let's go.
It's not physical. It's mental.
Martinez, Major League's leading home run hitter with 31 in a 1-run game. Bouncing to Wilson, ball 1. You saw season high 118 pitches. It's back in early June against the Angels. This is number 117. swung on and missed.
What was that, a slider? That was pretty good. That was a changeup. It had some depth to it.
And off the plate now, 2-1.
I was looking up JD Martinez's stats, and it showed where he crushes the fastball. He's probably one of the best fastball hitters on the team. And off speed, I think he has a problem with, but not much of a problem. But just I'll take my chances with off speed.
It's foul, 2-2.
Maybe you throw a fastball in to keep him honest.
2-2 to JD Martinez. Got him.
Nice.
Kyle Gibson has pitched his best against the best this year. 20 innings pitched against the Yankees and the Red Sox. He has given up just 3 runs to those 2 powerful lineups and just 12 hits.
Bulldog.
Well, again, it's pretty impressive when you think what Gibson has done against the Yankees and the Red Sox this year. 20 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed, only 12 hits against those 2 lineups. And he gave up a run early in the 2nd inning and was just brilliant afterwards. The Red Sox don't have a hit since Devers' 1-out single in the 4th. Fun to watch. Now Max Kepler will lead off the 9th against Ryan Brazier. Check swing foul, 1 strike.
The first thing Gibson did was get up off the bench and gave Adrianza a hug, because if it wasn't for that play, he wouldn't be out there.
But again, as aggressive as he's been with the tempo he's shown, you know, Bert and Jack always talk about it from a pitcher standpoint, LaTroy too. You get better plays behind you when you're out there throwing strikes and things are happening. Down and in, a ball.
Get them off the field as quickly as possible. You're out there, these guys they sit, and if you're walking guys or getting hit around, you know, you don't want these outfielders and infielders get complacent and laid back on their feet, on their heels.
Pop up, easy catch for Devers. But Bogarts calls him off, makes the catch in the outfield grass, 1 away. Are you game for a little excitement? Head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. With the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. Adrianza will bat. Got the game tied with a double play grounder. No run batted in, obviously, but the play he turned in to help set the tone for the bottom of the 8th inning was a major contribution. Gibson figures to make his next start at home against the Indians. Outside 1-1.
We've seen some nice arms coming out of their bullpen.
Yes. Yes, we have.
95 and higher.
Rodney getting loose. Driven to center. Bradley going back on the warning track to
Put a charge in that. That was a nice swing. Yeah. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC. Did I do something?
You did. You did very nice job.
All right.
Very professionally read. Here's Bobby Wilson. Wilson with a single in the 7th inning after the Twins tied the game up. That is foul wide of third. Now we saw Bobby Wilson catch a couple games ago, and Barrios pitched 7 innings of a shutout. And now we've seen Gibson with his marvelous game here tonight against the Red Sox. So you've got to tip your cap to the catcher when you have games like that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Wilson, man, he can make a pitcher look good. I mean, this guy's been around a long time. Of course, you see his offensive numbers. But
all right,
behind the plate, he's one of the best.
Buckle up. It's a 2-1 lead for the Twins going to the bottom of the 9th at Fenway. It's 2-1, bottom of the 9th, and the Red Sox will send the middle of their fierce lineup up against Fernando Rodney, who pitched twice in Toronto. He did not pitch at all in Kansas City. But his 2 appearances against the Blue Jays were in non-save situations. In fact, he hasn't pitched in a save situation in 2 weeks. And he will face Bogaerts, Pierce, and Devers in a 1-run game. Rodney giving up runs. A couple of them in the outing 3 nights ago in Toronto. Gave up a couple of hits, but no runs yesterday. Strike 1 over the inside corner. What we saw from Rodney in Toronto was a heavy reliance on his fastball and not so much the changeup.
Yeah, he's always been a guy that had a really good changeup.
Fastball off the plate, 1-1.
You know, it's been sometimes usually guys when they get behind in the count, they throw the fastball. When he get behind, he used to go to his changeup. He has that much confidence in it.
Drilled to center. 3rd straight fastball thrown by Rodney, and Bogaerts was all over it. First Red Sox hit since Devers' 1-out single in the 4th.
Got behind in the count. It's 2-0. Fastball down the middle. I mean, he hit it back where he threw it, down the middle, up the middle. And no harm, no foul. Just get a changeup, and he's a double play candidate.
Rodney needs to keep an eye on Bogaerts. 18 steals in 21 tries. First pitch fastball. Again, the hits that he gave up in Toronto, there were 4 of them in 2 innings. They were all on fastballs. Dribbled up the line. Wilson
Get 1 out.
gets the out. The tying run moves to second on a swinging bunt. Good play by Wilson. Pierce is retired, and now Devers will bat with the tying run at second.
I like how Bobby got out from behind the plate and got out there and got that out. Swung changeup down and away. Really couldn't do much with it. Bobby got out there pretty fast and made a good play on it. Good changeup.
And now Devers.
I think he gets a steady diet of changeups.
Fastball on the outside corner. The first fastball was at 92. That one clocked at 95. Pulled foul. Another fastball.
I mean, he's got to be setting up this changeup right here. He's fastball away, fastball in. He pulls it foul. Maybe he throws another fastball up and in to really set it up, but his out pitch for sure is the changeup. He's throwing a lot of fastballs, more than I've seen in the past.
Popped up. Escobar with room.
Yeah.
2 down.
That's his out pitch. His changeup is like the bug. You know in Bugs Bunny? Remember the cartoons, and he threw the changeup is 1, 2, 3. It looks like that. It stops in the middle of nowhere. He throws 95 and he throws his changeup. It just keeps you off balance.
Wilson, Adrianza both to the mound to talk to Rodney. Swihart the batter. He scored the only Red Sox run after his leadoff single in the second.
Swihart actually is a pull hitter. He really can turn on the fastball. I've seen him turn on some fastballs around 95, 96 miles an hour. This is where you stay away and just throw him changeups.
Up and away, ball 1. 2-0.
I think this is a guy you have to go after. Brock Hope, I don't like him at the plate in this situation.
You don't like having to pitch to him.
Yeah, I don't like having to pitch to him. So you have to go after Swihart.
2-0. Not a fastball, but at 97.
Yeah, he really. I mean, he still has it in the tank. This guy. In spring training, when I was with the Angels, I walk in the clubhouse. He's working out with 100-pound dumbbells at 8 in the morning. Who does that? He's strong.
2-1. Change up 3-1. Holt on deck.
I think you have to go after him. Throw a changeup for a strike if you can.
With the Fenway crowd roaring. He walked him. And Holt will hit. Mitch Moreland available off the bench, or so we would think. He's listed as a bench player, but he's nowhere to be found. Moreland, a .273 hitter with a dozen home runs, 47 runs batted in. But Holt will hit here with the tying run at second and the winning run at first.
I don't think you pinch hit for Jackie Bradley Jr. He's your best center fielder and your defensive guy. You can't take him out of the lineup.
Rodney trying to leave Bradley in the on-deck circle. Missed the inside corner. It's 14 pitches, 8 strikes for Rodney. Missing with 2 fastballs.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to give him anything to hit. I mean, with Jackie Bradley struggling so bad pulling pitches, you can go after him as well.
There's a strike on the outside corner.
Oh, wow.
3 fastballs, and the last one barely got the outside corner.
That pitch was outside. It's definitely a ball, but I guess we'll take it.
Instead of 3-0, it's 2-1. And a foul. And Holt has seen nothing but fastballs.
Nothing but fastballs. He's staying around 96, 97.
Bounced and blocked by Wilson. A huge block. That ball landed 5 feet in front of the plate.
I mean, Wilson is good back there.
That ball kicks to the side. 2 runners are in scoring position. Look where this ball landed. That's the changeup.
And he just blocked it easy.
The runners will go.
I think you throw the changeup right here. If you miss, if he misses that pitch, you got Jackie coming up. You can go after him. There you go.
A leadoff single, and now 2 out walks, and Rodney maybe not throwing the changeup because he's having a hard time controlling it. The last 2 weren't close.
I like this matchup. I like Fernando Rodney beating him right here.
I don't like it at all. I should be on my way back to the hotel by now.
Sipping on some coffee, huh? Some chamomile tea.
Meeting on the mound with the bases now full. Bradley with a single back in the second, a ground ball in the fifth, a strikeout in the seventh. And in this situation, it may be that Rodney is a one-pitch pitcher.
If he's not feeling that changeup, he got to be careful throwing it in the dirt with a man at third.
There's a changeup, ball one.
If you try to throw that fastball, you got to stay middle away because he's pulling everything.
And now missing with the fastball. "21 pitches, only 10 strikes for Fernando Rodney."
Just have to go after him. Let him hit it.
Rodney has walked 2 men all July. He's walked back-to-back batters here in the ninth. And now 3-1. And you've got a little choice but to do the same thing again, throw the same pitch. Right?
You have to. You have to. You have to throw it down the middle and let him hit it. You have to make sure you throw a strike right here. Now we're hoping.
On the outside corner, another fastball.
That was a really good pitch. Outside corner. Not going to do much with that. Now he has to swing. If he's anywhere close, he can't take it. He still doesn't have to be so fine. He just hit that outside corner somewhere out there. Out of third.
Got him!
Yes!
Wow!
Nice.
Came back from 3-0 to strike out Bradley.
I don't have any hair.
I don't have any fingernails.